Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Friday. I think it's Friday. Could be Friday. Let's hope it's Friday. Anyway, good morning, good morning. If you are watching, as always, do please pop a hello in the comments. It would help if I had the comments up, wouldn't it? But there you go. Yeah, let's do this thing. So welcome, everyone. I can see there's some of you out there lurking. Good morning, Lucky Fairy Queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I must admit, this week's been a struggle. It's my watch telling me to get up and get moving. Not now, watch, not now. Good morning, Lani, good morning. Yeah, it's been a struggle this week. So let's see if we can raise the energies today, because I certainly need some of that. Today's subject: whenever I am asked a question such as, how do you connect with deity? How do you get answers? How do you connect with dragon magic? My answer is always meditation. So that's the subject today. Is meditation really, really that powerful? What do you use it for? How do you use it? Is it really the answer to everything? And that is the question for today. Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Kerry and Ebony. Good morning, Christine. Just been to get the bin in. The things we do, eh? Good morning, David. Welcome to the summer. Yeah, it is sunny out there, but blue skies and sunshine all week. Nice. The garden is beginning to grow. But watch, it's no good telling me to move. It's just not going to happen. Good morning, Lolly. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Claire. Full moon at the weekend. Yeah. Do you think that's what it is? Do you think I need a bit of full moon energy? I need something, I tell you. David, summon the spirit of dog. That will give you energy. Unless it's a greyhound, they sleep all day. Yeah, Dachshunds are pretty much the same. Good morning, Old Crone's Corner. Good morning. Yeah, it's been a hectic, chaotic, twirly, ridiculous week. Yeah, and there's still a lot to do, but there you go. Myself, Ness and Heather will be at the Wandering Witches Fair tomorrow, selling our wares with lots of other folk, lots of other good stuff. Details of all of our events are on the websites, my website, the Kitchen Witch website. We're up to all sorts of shenanigans in the next few months, so do keep an eye out. What else have we got? I have no idea whatsoever. Who knows? Who knows what we're up to? Have a look at the website. It'll tell you what we're doing and what we're getting up to. But there's lots of stuff going on, all sorts of things. We do have our Witch's Hearth subscription membership do hickey, do brie, do something. £2 a month to have access to daily practice prompts, divination stuff, herbarium stuff, my work in progress things. That's all run from the forum, a bit like our version of the Patreon, except we don't have to pay Patreon fees. And that's over on the Kitchen Witch website if you're interested in that. So let's get this show on the road, as they say. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Steve. The dog is out in the kitchen bathing in the sun, but I'm running the show on my own today because Pete had to go into the office. There is a teenager in the house somewhere, but you know, it's the morning. I haven't seen or heard from him yet. He's up there somewhere. Good morning, Xenia. Watch, will you stop it? I'm not moving. Good morning, Xenia. Xenia, big positive energy for you, my lovely. Big positive energy. Good morning, Paul. Amy's 16th birthday tomorrow. Oh, Lonnie, that is ridiculous. Can remember holding her when she was tiny. Oh, where does time go? Where does time go? No idea. No idea whatsoever. But there you go. You know, that's the getting old thing, isn't it? Isn't it? It feels like it was only Christmas yesterday and now it's April. Ah, mad. Right. Meditation. Yes. So I ran a dragon magic course for the College of Psychic Studies at the weekend. And one of the questions that I was asked was, how do you connect with dragon energy? And it is a question that I get asked all the time. How do I connect with this deity? How do I connect with that deity? How do I find an answer to this? How do I connect with animal spirit? And my answer is always meditation. Because it works. But is it that good? Is it that wonderful? How do you guys work with meditation? If you were to connect with the deity, is it meditation that you go to first? If you were to connect with animal spirit, is it meditation that you go to first? That's the thoughts for today. Good morning, Amanda. Zoe will be 19. Yes. Yeah, Ben's 19. Yeah. It is time. And we're going to be first-time grandparents in a couple of months too. That's just all scary. Good morning, Angela. Bonjour from Chile, France. Yeah, it is nice, blue sky, sunshine, but the Kalach is just desperately hanging on with the last grips. Oh, David, we'll miss you tomorrow, but you get to look after doggies, so that's all good. All good. Good morning, Ateka. Good morning. Yeah, meditation. Do you know, it is my go-to. If I need answers, if I need to make connections, it is meditation that I go to. There are other ways of doing it. There are other ways of making connections. But I think meditation for me is the real key. If I am going to connect with the deity, I will meditate with a scenario that suits them. So if I'm going to meet Sulis, then I set the scenario of the meditation as the Roman baths. Because that's generally where I meet her. When I first started to connect with her, I went back to the natural springs before the Roman temple was built there. But it's the temple she likes because she likes to be worshipped. So that's my setting. And I know I will find her there. I know I will connect with her there. If I'm going to meet the Kelach, then it's usually wide open fields, rocks, caves, that type of scenario. If I want to connect with a Greek deity, then I will set my meditation scene as Greek scenario. Athens, maybe. It is about setting the scene as well, I think. If I'm meeting with my wild boar, he's here anyway, so he's here now, so I don't need to go into meditation to meet with him. But if I was meeting with a new animal spirit guide, I would set the scene of the meditation, set the landscape to where the landscape that I would find the animal in. If I go to meet my dragon, again, I don't need to meditate to meet my fire dragon because he's here looming behind me already. I've got this whole kind of menagerie of things going on. But if I wanted to meet a specific dragon, I would set the scene again. So if I wanted to meet a water dragon, I would set the landscape of my meditation to a water scenario. So it is about being specific, I think, for who or what you want to meet. So you might have to do a little bit of research into the culture, the landscape, and then direct your meditation. But for me, it is the best way to connect. I will then often go on after that and set up an altar or make offerings or be guided by whatever they've instructed me to do. But meditation is my real first key point. It is for me anyway. Right, let's scroll back. Okay. Lucky Fairy Queen. Meditation is literally a lifeline for me. I use it to connect with my goddesses, to focus on my goal, to bring peace in my life, to relax. What would I even do without meditation? It is so useful, isn't it? And I feel like a real cop-out when people say, what do you recommend? and I say, oh, meditation. It seems like a kind of, answer for everything. But actually it does, doesn't it? It is a multitasking tool. Maria, have a very nice birthday evening dinner tomorrow. Emma, my friend struggles with traditional meditation because she has aphantasia. She has tried other methods, but she still struggles with it. I think it's about finding a way that works for you. There are all different types of meditation. There are for all sorts of stuff. You don't have to sit bent like a pretzel and om for hours. My meditation's usually very short, very often no longer than 10 minutes. And quite often just sitting in a chair or lying on the bed. But there are breathing meditations, there are walking meditations, there are mindful meditations. So do have a look at other methods. There are a lot out there. But also just visualization and daydreaming can be really classed as meditation as well. It is about finding a method that suits you. Christine, always meditation. Yeah, used to sit in circle. It amazed me how we all had the same journey and saw the same animals, especially a wolf. Turned out we had a strange person in the circle. He was watching the lady take in the circle, but we all picked up on it, what he was doing, and a wolf was among us growling. How strange it was. Yeah, I think if you are in group meditation, it can be very, very interesting experience. It's actually one of the interesting things when we run in-person workshops. I don't like doing meditations when we've got a room with 20 people in it and you're running a workshop. I don't like working with meditation because all of the energies overlap. And we've done it where we've run workshops to work with spirit animals, and we've found that so many people will end up the same because all the people's energies are overlapping. I think meditation works best when you are on your own, I must admit, because then there are no outside influences. There's no one else's energy overlapping with yours. We do meditations sometimes when we run online things. I did a short one for the Dragon Magic last week. I don't like doing online ones either because I don't think you're in the right setting. But it's personal. But yes, do find when you're in a group, everyone's energies will overlap. So you get misreadings, if that makes sense. So I think probably better to do on your own, but definitely an experience, Xenia, I do meditation, shamanic journey, or just ask my allies in my mind. Yeah, a lot of my connections now, where I've been doing it for so long, where my wild boar is with me and has been for so long, where the dragon's been with me and has been for so long, even the goddesses, they're here already. So the connection is there. Did it as was before my surgery because it was postponed one day and they were right all the time. They're in sync, obviously in sync. And there are obviously differences between meditation, shamanic journeys, trance, hedge riding. They go a lot deeper than meditation. But it is such a useful thing. I don't know. Do you guys all? Do you have to be in a setting? Do you have to have incense? Do you have to have a certain type of music to put you in that meditation frame of mind, or can you just do a meditation sat in your chair? Are there certain prompts that you need to kind of flip that switch? I think for me it depends. As I say, if it's my main goddesses and God, Balanos, and spirit guide, I can just make that connection without being in meditation. If I am meditating, I do like to set the scene. I do like to, I make myself comfortable because when you are meditating, if you are going to be lying still for some time, your body does cool down. So I like to have a blanket to pull over me. I like to be comfortable. And I don't have incense so much, but I do like to have something, whether it's drumming or gongs I like to listen to. Certain types of music work for me, certain don't. I do have a lot of mind monkeys, so I do love guided meditations. I think it's about kind of setting the scene just a little bit, puts you in that frame of mind, I think. Angela, used to meditate a lot, found it very helpful and relatively easy, but since my TIA, find it really hard to do. I think there's different circumstances as well, isn't there? And there are different, if you are in the wrong frame of mind, if you are angry, if you are poorly, that will have an effect on how well you meditate as well. A few things come into play, I think, don't they? Tina, never thought about setting the scene. Okay, find meditation so hard. I've only ever met someone once ever. I think for me it is a kind of like flipping a switch. So setting the scene, I think, particularly if you struggle with meditation, setting the scene is one of those things that the preparation kind of leads you into that meditation. So, I set somewhere comfortable, not necessarily lying down, but sitting in a comfy chair, but putting some incense on. The lighting as well, I think, makes a difference. One of the best meditation experiences I had was a yoga nidra scenario. We all laid on yoga mats. Then we had blankets. We had a cushion under our knees because when you're lying flat, it can be quite uncomfortable. So we had a small cushion under our head, small cushion under our knees, because it just bends your knees and lifts them up. It does make it much more comfortable on your back. And we also had little cushions under this part of our arms as well. So you're laying down, so your arms were lifted up a bit as well. Blanket. And then an eye mask, a lavender filled eye mask. Zonked. Totally zonked. Very comfortable, warm. And I think the eye mask as well helped because it blocked out any light that was going on. So yeah, I think you've got to be comfortable, but setting the scene does kind of lead you into it. And, putting the music on or just sort of shutting out the world as well, I guess. I think you've got to be comfortable, which is a key thing. But I think setting that scene, it is a kind of switch, right? I'm going to go and meditate now. So I need to do this, and this, and put those things in place. I actually have a specific shawl that I use for meditation. So once I've got the shawl around me or over me, that's kind of a key. It's like putting your cloak on when you're going to go into ritual. So I have a meditation shawl, and it's a key. It's a flipping the switch for me, turning me into meditation mode. So that's quite useful to have as well, whether it is a cushion or a shawl, or some people veil when they meditate. So you have a piece of gauze or a piece of crochet, even a bit of lace, put it over your head to veil yourself. That's another flip to switch you into meditation mode. These are keys that tell your brain, your subconscious, whatever point needs to know that you're going into meditation mode. So sometimes outside things do help to put you into that mode. Absolutely. Maria, meditation is a very personal thing. It is absolutely what works for one may not work for another. I love sound baths. I do not like crystal bowls. All of the crystal bowls I've heard so far, and the singing bowls, set my teeth on edge. I obviously haven't found the right sound connection yet. Gongs I love, drums I love. So it is going to be very personal from one person to the next. I like guided meditations. I do not like sitting listening to waterfalls that just makes you want to wee. But that might work for the next person. So yes, absolutely. Very, very. And also bear in mind that meditation scenarios won't be, Cinemax, high definition. You won't get that whole video. Well, you might, but generally you don't get that whole clear video kind of experience. It might just be sounds, it might be words, it might just be images. Go with whatever comes to you. David, meditation is how I connect to mostly everything these days. Still the mind, let go and see. Also, I have no idea how else to discipline the mind. I'm not sure your mind could be disciplined, David. And that's just how we like it. But it is very personal. Angela tried all sorts, none seemed to work. Visualization seems to have gone to the wall too. Visualization is a skill, but I think it's also a muscle and it needs exercising. So to hone your visualization, to bring your visualization skills back into practice, work with some exercises. Your muscle does need training, toning, keeping active, a bit like your brain completely, really. So visualization exercises work really well to kind of hone that. So that might be worth you giving some of those a try, Angela. There are various visualization exercises in my books, but basically a simple candle one. Light a candle, set it safely in front of you, watch the flame. Look at the flame, look at the candle, look at the color of the candle, look at the holder it's in, look at the texture, and then close your eyes and try and recreate that image in your mind. Then when you've nailed that, try changing the color, try moving the flame in your mind. You can do the same thing with a piece of fruit, an apple. Look at it, get all of the details in your mind, close your eyes, and then try visualizing it in your head. And then once you've nailed the actual image of it, try visualizing the smell and the taste of it. Baby steps, but practicing with visualization exercises on a regular basis can really, really help. Xenia, I also find mindfulness, body scan, and mindful breathing very useful to reduce stress and ends the flight, fight, freeze reaction. Yes, breathing exercises, all sorts of different breathing exercises. There's even a dragon's breath one. And they can be really, really useful to calm yourself down, but also to bring you into that meditative state. There's a reason that most meditations start with deep breaths in and out. You are releasing the negative. You are calming yourself down. You are slowing yourself down, ready for meditation. So breathing, absolutely. Very, very useful for meditation skills, techniques. Good morning, Tony. Okay, like going for a walk before meditation, it helps me clear my head and remove anything that's hanging on. Then I sit, focus on breathing and start my meditation. Nice. Walking is a form of meditation. Be very careful when you're doing walking meditation, because obviously you don't want to be stepping off pavements and on busy roads and things. But if you are in a safe space, you can meditate as you walk, walking meditation. Each step takes you further into the meditation. But yes, excellent idea for clearing your mind. Xenia had icky feelings in a group workshop with meditation and magic work with strangers. I'll be more careful not to do that. I really do avoid group meditation in workshops and things if I can, because our energies do overlap. When you are in a group of people, they will all overlap. It can be a bit tricky. Steve, meditating with a candle flame and focusing on the flame, I find brings some amazing results. Yes, not just for salamanders, but with spirit animals and various spirits. But a bit of flame watching, like a bit of fire, as you know. I think one of the simplest and most effective meditations is candle flame. Light a candle, watch the flame. Literally watch the flame, watch it flicker, watch the wax melt. Your mind is focusing on that candle, so other stuff will disappear. Your mind will relax, and then you might get messages or visits. And yeah, not necessarily from fire elementals, but from anything, anyone, all sorts of things popping into your head. But it's having that focus. And I think candles and flames work really well. It doesn't have to be a candle flame. It could be a bonfire, could be a fire pit. Flame in itself is quite mesmerizing. So yeah, absolutely. Lucky Fairy Queen. Setting works amazingly for me to be in a calm place, or for me with the right music. Sometimes a guided meditation works so well. I do. I think it is setting the scene really helps, and having those things that kind of guide you into the right frame of mind. So it might be a meditation cushion or a cushion that you use all the time for meditation, and your brain sort of says, a meditation cushion, there we are. Time to switch off. My shawl does the same thing. It is a key, it is a prompt to switch you into that mode. I think as well it is, we're working again with all of our senses, which I know I push quite a lot. All of your senses for working magic, all of your senses for being in ritual. And the same goes for meditation. If you work a lot with scent, then have a specific incense or scented candle or essential oil that your subconscious associates with meditation. I mean, it could be something calming like lavender or something like that, but it could be just something that you love, like patchouli or frankincense. Frankincense is one of my favorites. Something that you associate with meditation then. So as soon as you smell that, your subconscious goes, oh, meditation time. I mean, that's if you want to go that route. If you want to go the other route, then it could be, if you are setting the scene too. When I meet Ganesha, when I meditate with him, to meet him, I quite often use an incense blend that has lots of spices in it, because that's what I associate with him. So it might have cardamom and cloves and nutmeg and cinnamon, all the spicy stuff in it, because that's what I associate with Ganesha. And then I usually put on some good old Bollywood music. Love a bit of Bollywood music because it's setting the scene. But it is very personal, as I say. So what works for some might not work for others. Emma, I tend to use daily meditation to aid with my mental health. It is an absolutely brilliant tool to use for mental health. Absolutely. I think even if you can just meditate for 5 or 10 minutes a day, it's really, really helpful. Christine, do you believe that meditation is the same as visualization? No, I would say not. I visualize when I am trying to manifest something. I visualize when I'm working magic. So if I'm working a candle magic spell for prosperity, then as I'm working the spell, I will visualize my goal. When I'm meditating, I'm not doing something else. So when I'm working my candle magic, I am tending the candle, I am adding the herbs, I am working the spell. So I'm visualizing my goal at the same time. When I'm meditating, I'm not doing something else. I am just sitting, and I am taking myself off generally to the other world. So I do. There's possibly a little bit of a crossover, but I would say there are separate things. I mean, I don't know, what does anyone else think, but I would say they are separate techniques, different ways of different ways of working, different things that you do to work with each. I'm who says I'm right? Me, when I'm talking to my husband. Maria, I like guided meditations I've read beforehand rather than listening to them. Yes, if you need a structure, and if you are doing a path working, you would need the structure. Reading it and sort of setting it in your brain beforehand is a very good idea. Yes, absolutely. Xenia, if it involves a lot of preparation and setup, I rarely do it. So it's on the go what I do. I also adjusted a shamanic power retrieval journey to go to on the go work. Interesting. Whenever I'm doing my hedge riding, I do a little bit of preparation for that, because I'm traveling to the other world and it is deeper trance work than meditation. I do a bit of preparation. If I am meditating, not so much. It depends where my brain's at. If my brain's a bit scattered, then I do a bit of preparation because it puts me in the right frame of mind. But yes, you can absolutely on the go. Meditation works too. Different places, different situations. So yeah, good eye mask helps. Yes, I don't have one. I only had one in the yoga nidra thing that I used to go to. I will have to look out one. I think I'm sure the girls will crochet one if I ask for it. Amanda found how powerful meditation can be by meditating during my last awake surgery. Really did make a massive difference and found the surgery just flew by. My recovery time was significantly quicker too. Yes, I have, not that I've had many surgeries, touch wood, thankfully, but any procedure, dental work, anything like that, I find it really useful to meditate, to take yourself out of the actual reality of what's going on. It is a very, very useful tool. Yes, brilliant. David, I think most people who ask me about meditation don't quite understand what to expect. They all have this idea that your mind is supposed to be free from all distraction. Yeah, that's not going to happen. No, never going to happen. You'll always have thoughts and things racing through your mind. Yes. Meditation is just learning how to let it go. So it just becomes like having the radio on. The thoughts just become background noise. Never get frustrated about thinking or getting distracted. Very, very wise words, as always, David. Yes, on very rare occasions when I've been on a deep hedge riding journey, then I will lose myself there. But generally, when I'm just meditating, there are always mind monkeys floating about and outside sounds. Yeah, next door mowing the lawn, or the kids outside shouting, or dog barking. Yeah, there's always something. Oh, I forgot to do that, or oh, here's the shopping list for tomorrow. It is about learning, as you say, to just let those thoughts go, let those sounds go, and carry on. Yes, very wise words. How do you stop yourself falling asleep? I don't. Many a time I have nodded off in meditation, particularly if I'm in bed at night, as I, got ready for bed, get into bed, think, or just do a quick meditation to connect with whatever. I have fallen asleep, and it's absolutely fine to fall asleep. It just means you've got into a different wave, a deeper wave of consciousness. And actually, I quite often find if my meditation takes me into sleep, then I have some quite prophetic dreams as well. I did have a weird dream last night, actually. Yeah, anyway, yes, it's absolutely fine to fall asleep. If that's what happens, then that's what you're meant to do. Just when you come out of it, jot down anything that came to you in your dreams, because that might be important. There isn't a way that I'm aware of to stop you falling asleep. Basically, when you go into meditation, you are taking your brain waves lower, slower, deeper, and that does sometimes end up with sleep. You can't pinch yourself or bang a drum or anything like that to stop yourself from going to sleep, because that will take you out of the meditation. Just accept that you were meant to fall asleep, and it might be that that's just, where the messages come. Xenia, very personal. Love singing bowls, but gongs make me run. It's vibrations, isn't it? It is sound vibrations. I'm sure there must be a singing bowl out there for me. One that is of a tone or a sound that resonates with me. I just haven't found it yet. But I do like gongs. Lucky Fairy Queen, agree with the visualization bit being a skill. It is an absolute skill. Got better for me with practice, and it does. It is a skill. It is something that needs mastering. Not everyone is going to be at the same level with it. Some people take to it straight away, others it take time, others may not get it completely ever. It is just how your brains work. It is, again, it doesn't have to be, and won't be probably, high definition Cinemax. It's not like going to the cinema. Your visualization might be that you just get the feeling of an image, if that makes sense. you might just feel the energy of your goal or the image that you're trying to create. It might be that you just hear words rather than see images. It might be that you just get that feeling. So if you are trying to visualize your goal to manifest money, it might just be that you get the feeling of being comfortable, of being financially secure. It might be that you see cash, ka-ching, ka-ching, cash registers, piles of coins, piles of notes. It might be that you see people handing you money. It might be just that you get that idea of people handing you money. It's going to be different for everyone. It will be different for everyone, but it is a skill that with a bit of practice you can improve on it generally. Claire, breathwork can take you into meditative state faster. Yes, absolutely. You are slowing your body down. You are focusing on your breathing, forgetting all the outside stuff. You're focusing on your breathing, slowing everything down to take you into that state. Yes, absolutely. Christine, stopped doing meditation in group as I tended to hold my breath initially. Then when mid-meditation, I would take a deep breath, which made everyone else jump. That would do it. Stop sharing with them. Yeah, don't hold your breath while you breathe. Well, don't hold your breath anyway. It's not good for you. That would make everyone jump. Angela, sorry, Tia mini stroke. I realised it was something like that, Angela. I think my brain has been rewired and it's taking time to undo, redo. It'll just be a case of working out how it's wired now, if that makes sense, and working with different practices to find a way that does work. And I think we change over time as well. I'm in phase 457 of my life. So how I do things now is very different to how I used to do things. How I think about things, how I react to things is very different now than how I used to. I think our magical practice changes as we change, and that goes for things like meditation as well. And if something has happened with your health, that's going to change again. It is about reworking things to find a way that does work for you. It'll come. It will come. Xenia, for those with a very dark humour, I can recommend the Netflix series Murder Mindfully. Don't know that one, Xenia, based on the book. It's a dark humour crime story, but one also learns a lot of mindfulness meditation. Hopefully not to murder people. Disclaimer here. I'll look that one out. Thank you, Xenia. Good morning, Maharet. Wise words from David. All depends on the point of meditation. Some meditation uses sound of feeling as the focus, like a breathing meditation. The only focus is the breath, or listening to your heartbeat or the world around me. Yes, that works very well. Seeing isn't important. The experience is, and that is up to the experience. Yes, I think that's important as well, is listening to sounds can work very well for meditation, whether it's listening to drumming or nature sounds or just the sound of your heartbeat. For me, it's rhythmic. It is that rhythm. And I don't like plinky plonky meditation music. It makes me feel like I'm in a lift or in a supermarket or something. I do like drumming, but I have meditated listening to bands, listening to music from Journey. The band Journey works very well. There's some Fleetwood Mac stuff that works very well. I do like a bit of Bollywood, as I say, that works very well for me. There are a lot of chants that work very well for me, but just a beat. I'm not very good at playing. I've got my drum up here, playing my drum very well and meditating at the same time. I prefer to listen to drumming rather than doing it and meditating. But drumming would probably be my go-to sound for meditation, but it can be anything. I've also done what I call urban meditations, where I've been sitting in the garden, close my eyes, and you can hear a dog barking, or kids playing a couple of houses down, or a car going past. Those all become part of my meditation. They are sounds of the world happening around me. So I bring those into my meditation. Mindful. Right, that's a car. Let it go. That's the kids playing. That's happiness. Bring that in. Let that go. It's about working, I think, with how you perceive things as well. Hannah, during my last meditation, I met Jesus. Wow, that's quite impressive. That's a whole other topic in itself. Mary, Jesus, yeah. I have worked with Mary, haven't worked with Jesus. Fairly sure he was a druid, but that's another topic properly. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I think that's quite a good advert for never rule out whatever or whoever comes to you. Always there for a reason. Xenia, yes, breath work is very useful and also can be done everywhere. Yes, absolutely. I think you said earlier, Xenia, about breath work being important because it can calm you down. It doesn't have to be used for meditation, it can be used just to calm you down. Just to calm you down. Yes, absolutely. Maharet, I have to move, can't sit still. Can't sit still, and other traditional ways have never worked for me. Used to walk really fast somewhere far away from other people. That sounds like a good plan. Nowadays, I just do my sets of stretching exercises. So I don't do exercise generally. I do like a bit of yoga, and I find that yoga is quite meditative. So yes, stretching exercises, I can see how that would work. I loved doing meditation while I was doing yoga, and walking. Yeah, movement. Some people meditate when they dance. That works as well. Yeah. Oh, again, all these different ideas. I think we have it stuck in our head. Well, we don't, because we're all enlightened. But I think some people have this idea that to meditate, you have to be cross-legged, sitting on the floor, omming for 3 hours at a time. No, you can move. Absolutely, it works really well. One of the other things that I have used, and you can possibly see them on Ganesha here, are mala beads, prayer beads, if you like. I've got several sets of them. There's a couple of Ganesh ones. He likes them because he likes sparkly things. But I've got a Kalak set as well. I also have a set of prayer beads that I made, and each bead represents a different something. So it is a string of beads, and you pass them through your hands. And I use them to take myself into meditation. So bead 1, bead 2, bead 3, bead 4, and that takes you into meditation. Then I've got the different beads that are for different things. So gratitude. So there's a bead for love, friendship, comfort, prosperity, and you work your way through them as you're meditating. You can use them to count, or just the process of passing the beads through your fingers is very meditative. And if you crochet or knit or embroider or anything like that, very meditative. It's repetitive practice that works really well. Xenia, my on-the-go work is not traveling to other realms. I have my allies here with me. Yeah, it is different, isn't it? There are different situations, different requirements, because different purposes for meditation. Claire, do you focus on seeing white light when meditating? Not done that one. Not done that one. Usually when I meditate, I'm meditating for a purpose. So it's probably more of a path working, because I am meditating to meet someone, something. It might be a plant spirit, it might be a animal spirit, it might be a deity. Although if I'm working with plant spirits, usually I'm head riding, so it is trance work, so it's much deeper. If I'm meditating just to chill out, then I try and leave my mind empty to see what comes in. So no, I don't focus on what. Does anyone do that? Do you do that, Claire? Do you find that useful? Not something that I have tried. What do others think? Thought I was going to sing. Get back to work. I am not going to sing. Promise I'm not going to sing. David, remember falling asleep during a group meditation back in one of Vivian Crowley's Wicca beginning class? I ended up leaning on the student next to me. Vivian just said I got relaxing off to a tea. As long as you didn't snore, we're all right. Get the drum kit out. We do have a drum kit here. It's electronic drum kit, but I'm not going to sing. Zinnia. Moving and doing exercise can also be meditative, yes. Mindful walking, and some get into a meditative state by running or cycling, brings the brain waves down, or gardening, weeding, poking about in the garden, definitely very meditative. Not running, because don't do running. If I did run, I would be like Phoebe from Friends. I would, it would not be pretty or calming at all. Margaret, think it's about rhythm for me. Yes, absolutely. Counting specific sets of numbers while moving and keeping the movement steady like a bass drum. I do. I think the rhythm and the repetitiveness absolutely works. I think that for me, that is a big part of it, whether it is counting down or up or listening to a steady beat. Yes, that works for me. Tina, I've gone into trance-like statement dancing to certain Hawkwind songs. I think it's important that we try all sorts. Don't just think you have to meditate to that plinky plonky music. Classical music I have meditated to as well. That works quite well. I do like a bit of harp music. But I do, yes. I mean, if AC/DC works for you, then go for it. Yeah, don't limit yourself to the stereotypes or to what you think you have to work with. Definitely not. Definitely not. Ooh. Click, click, click. I've used beads before and really liked them. Found them great for focus and calming. I do. I think they're very, very useful. Very useful tool to use. David, movement works very well with meditation. Treading the mill can put you in a trance meditational state. Yes, it is that repetitive, isn't it? It is that steps. It's rhythm again. Christine, I think the Indian music works for me as soon as I hear it. I'm away. I do love a bit of Indian music, and chants as well work very well. That the repetitive chanting works very well. I've got a beautiful track actually of a very lovely lady repeating all of the Indian deity names, just repeating it and chanting it. Very, very, very nice. But it is very personal. It does have to work for you. But I think it is one of those things that can be so useful for all sorts of things. And I always find myself apologizing now when someone says, "Oh, how do I connect with deity?" Well, you meditate. I'm sorry, it sounds really boring, but it is the answer to most things. But it is also about finding something that works for you. And I think perhaps different types, different methods for different things. It is about perhaps as well tailoring it. I wouldn't just sit down and go, right, I'm going to meditate now. If I wanted to meet a specific deity, I would put a bit of preparation work into it. Because it's going to direct me to that deity more easily, but also I think perhaps because it is a little bit about honouring that deity, because I've done the preparation work, because I've done a little bit of work beforehand that shows that I'm honouring them and that I am prepared to put a bit of effort in to meet them. And I think if you are meditating for plant spirits, I do head ride to do that, but if you want to if you wanted to meditate to find ingredients for a particular spell, then I would meditate with the aim of wandering around a kitchen garden so that I could be led to the right herbs, the right plants, and then come away from the meditation and I've got a list of ingredients for my spell working. If you're looking for answers, if you meditate and find yourself or direct yourself to a crossroads, then you can, in your meditation, be guided by which direction to take and investigating to see what answers it's got. Meditation is good for releasing. If you want to let go of stuff, meditate. We do quite a good one at Kitchen Witch where you're walking across a bridge and there are buckets placed all down the bridge, and you take each bucket, tip it into the water, and you're letting go of particular emotions, negative energy, things that you want to get rid of. It's useful for so many things. I have listened to drumming music before. I find the rhythm of the beats aligns with my breathing, which really helps. Yes, I think that's where drumming really comes into its own. Hello, dog. Has the sun gone in? It's come in from sunbathing because the sun's gone in. Amanda, I have used mala beads while being out and about during times of high anxiety. Very useful. Eventually, just the cool weight around my wrist was enough to keep me calm and focused. Oh, hang on, I've just thrown the blanket over the dog's head. Sorry, Eric. Yes, they are, and they're portable, which makes them very useful as well. And my ones that I've got on Ganesha there are made from crystals. So they have got natural energy. Each of the crystals carries its own energy as well. Yes, very useful. Xenia found a nice saying, Christian. Praying is talking to God. Meditating is listening to God. I like that. But I think we do prayers as pagans. That's what requests to the moon are, or we stand outside and ask the moon for stuff. That's a prayer. Spell working really is a type of prayer. Yes, that works, Xenia. That makes sense. Frozen in your head now. Yeah, let it go. I'm not going to sing. I'm really not, because I cannot. Yeah, the sun's gone in. Eric's now in here under his blanket. There are some meditation hints and tips on my blog. If you are a student of the school, there are lots of bits and pieces on the forum. If you look on my blog and on the Kitchen Witch blog, there are several guided meditations that we've recorded as well, if those work for you. But I would say try all of the different methods. And don't be restricted. Try guided. And voices matter. Oh, voices matter. I'm working my way through Audible, listening to all the Poirot stories. Hugh Fraser reads them beautifully. His voice is amazing. He does all the accents, and I often fall asleep. But I then had one of the books that was read by a lady. I don't know her name. I couldn't listen to it. The voice was so grating and so piercing that I couldn't actually listen to the book. And I think meditation is the same. If you are listening to a guided meditation, you need it to be a voice that you find calming. You can record your own if that works for you. If you've got an idea or you read a meditation and you want to record it on your phone or something, brilliant. I don't like listening to my own voice, so that doesn't work for me. But I think with tones here, it's a bit like the singing bowls and the crystal bowls. You have to find a tone that resonates for you. So if Hugh Fraser reads all my meditations, I'd be fine. It is about finding a voice that works for you as well if you are listening. But I think, as Maria said, if you've got a script, read it first a couple of times, and then you've got that in your head and you can replay it and take yourself off that way as well. Or just, get an idea of a scene. If you have worked with us on lessons before, you will know that we create sacred spaces. It's one of the first things that we do. Create a sacred space in your head, somewhere that you can take yourself off to each time you meditate. It might be a grove of trees. It might be a castle room. It might be a council flat, block of council flats. It's any place that you set as sacred, and that becomes your sacred space, and you can go to that place every time. That works quite well as well. David, good tip for meditation is meditate at different times of the day. Yes, absolutely. Don't expect anything. Just see what happens to see if you can work out why. I think different times of the day will be better for different people depending on your schedule, your routine, but also on the day as well and what's going on in your life. Yes, absolutely. Maria, I've always meditated either very early morning or at bedtime, and both of those are really good times. They are liminal times. They are often quiet times. Sometimes as a working wife, mother, busy person, I've had to take whatever time I can, even locking yourself in a room for 5 minutes just to calm down and meditate work. Do try it at different times of the day, because it will have a difference. It will make a difference. Kerry, I've never been any good at meditation. I'd be worried about whether it's working or I've imagined it, as my imagination is wild sometimes. Imagination is just meditation. Imagination, daydreaming, meditation, all one and the same thing as far as I am concerned. Claire, nice dulcet tones. Yes, you do. You do. Like finding any spirit animals. Did I really connect or imagine it? All of the above. For me, it's the same thing. Have I got an enormous fire dragon sitting right behind me? Is he really there, or have I imagined it? Does it matter? He's there, and he's providing me with support and criticism and judging me totally most of the time. Do I have a wild boar sitting at my feet? Is he really there, or have I imagined it? Does it matter? He's there. He provides me with support. He provides me with guidance. I don't think it matters, Kerry, as long as it works for you. There you go. I'm going to finish with that. I'm off to record a podcast now. So if you are looking out for interesting podcasts to listen to or watch, the Pagan Portal podcast comes out twice a month. We've got some fabulous guests on again this season. Going off to do one now, so watch out for the next one that comes out. Meditation. Try it all different ways. Experiment and see what works for you. Have a fantastic week, everyone. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Experiment. And I will catch you all again on the flip side. Thanks so much, everyone.